Welcome to CAN, Caribbean Affiliate News. My name is Siobhan Gobin. Here are the stories that we're following today, July 13, 2013. In the news from the Caribbean, fatal stabbing at the USVI Correctional Facility. An inmate is arrested and charged. In Jamaica, stiffer penalties coming for mobile phone use while driving. Food and Agriculture Organization to hire Vincentian to improve cooperation with the OECS. And also in Jamaica, police hold permits for Clarendon parties. Councillors are upset. Details on these headlines and more when we return.
5 million customers use Leica Mobile for affordable international mobile calls, connecting over 2.5 million mobile calls daily, helping our customers stay in touch with their loved ones, whether they be in Asia, Africa, Europe, or the rest of the world. Every 5 seconds, a new Leica Mobile customer joins our growing family, helping you to make affordable international calls across the world. Leica Mobile. Call the world for less.
Welcome back to CAN, Caribbean Affiliate News. My name is Siobhan Gobin, and this segment is sponsored by Total Caribbean Network. Acting Director of the U.S. Virgin Islands Bureau of Corrections, Basil Richards, on Thursday confirmed the fatal stabbing of an inmate at the Golden Grove Adult Correctional Facility and Detention Center at St. Croix inmate Humphrey Bilson. Humphrey Bilson, was 61, was pronounced dead at the Juan F. Louis Hospital at approximately 2:15 p.m. Richards said that the incident took place between the kitchen just before the chute, the walkway, which leads to the institution's vocational shops. And I quote, several staff witnesses stated that they saw the suspect, inmate Ralph Brathwaite, approach the victim and stab him one time to his upper right chest area. Custody personnel immediately intervened in the altercation and restrained the suspect while others attended to the victim. Paramedics and police were called, with both arriving simultaneously. Life-saving measures were immediately administered. However, inmate Bilson was pronounced dead shortly thereafter at the Juan F. Louis Hospital. Bilson was serving a natural life sentence for first-degree murder and attempted burglary. The suspect, Ralph Brathwaite, 45, was processed, arrested, and charged with first-degree murder. He is currently serving a 60-year sentence for aggravated rape in the first degree. The acting director said that the facility is on lockdown and assured the public that the facility is operating within all security guidelines and protocols to safeguard both the prison population and the BOC personnel. In Jamaica, an amended Road Traffic Act is expected to tighten regulations and introduce stiffer penalties for the use of mobile phones while driving and in-car devices such as DVD players. Minister with a portfolio in the Ministry of Transport, Dr. Maurice Guy, says the new legislation will ensure that road safety issues are addressed according to the 21st century requirements. Guy says the preparation of the new legislation is at an advanced stage and should be brought to Parliament during this fiscal year. The minister, who was addressing a National Road Safety Council Awards ceremony yesterday, expressed particular concern about the use of cellular phones while driving, noting that this is a serious hazard. He says cellular phone use creates some amount of distraction for drivers, which may cause crashes resulting in injuries and fatalities. Guy is expressing his support for the retesting of drivers who are repeat offenders. He says the modernization and reorganization of the Island Traffic Authority will be fast-tracked when the new Road Traffic Act is passed into law. He says the act will correct anomalies between the Transport Authority and the Road Traffic Acts, such as stipulated passenger capacity for vehicles. The new act will also call for the certification of driving instructors and require that they teach an approved curriculum. According to Guy, Jamaica's development will be found woefully wanting if the country's road safety practices are not intensified. He says Jamaica's limited health resources are negatively impacted each year as the country spends about $2 billion each year to care for victims of traffic crashes. The Food and Agriculture Organization will hire a Vincentian to work with them to improve cooperation with the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States. FAO Director General Jose Graziano da Silva made the announcement on Wednesday following a meeting with Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves. During a joint press conference on Wednesday, Da Silva, who is on a two-day official visit, said the FAO has agreed to have better coordination mechanisms with the OECS and will look for ways to have a common approach within the 9-member bloc. He said the CVs of six Vincentians will be presented and one will be selected to work at the FAO to help improve cooperation in the region. He also announced that in the 2014 the International Year of Family Farming, the FAO will also host an event in St. Vincent and the Grenadines to promote family farming. He added that several concrete issues were discussed during the meeting with the Prime Minister. He said the meeting discussed the diversification of the products that can be produced locally. His visit came on the invitation of Gonsalves during a meeting in Rome last month. At that meeting, St. Vincent was among 38 countries recognized by the FAO for having malnutrition ahead of the 2015 target. In Jamaica, a war of words yesterday broke out between councillors at the Clarendon Parish Council and Senior Superintendent of Police Michael Bailey, following a directive from the Senior COP which effectively bans parties and dances in some communities. SSP Bailey has instructed that as part of efforts to reduce crime, no permit will be issued for parties and dances in May Pen, Canaan Heights, Curacao Hill, Mineral Heights, Trenton Road, Paisley, Hazard Drive, and Palmer's Cross and other communities. SSP Bailey's announcement was not well received by the irate councillors who described the directive as a parish-wide curfew that is counterproductive to fighting crime. Following the announcement, Councillor Godfrey Knight declared that he's unimpressed with the SSP Bailey's stewardship of policing the parish. He said the move is one in the wrong direction, particularly during the summer season when many events will be held. Knight's outburst was then followed by a steady stream of unsavory comments from other councillors who also questioned the policeman's competence in light of an escalation in criminal activities in Clarendon. Chairman of the Clarendon Parish Council, Mayor Sean Barneswell, said the entertainment industry has contributed over $600 million to the economy. He said he will be seeking to have the issue resolved through the Association of Local Government Authorities. The Executive Director of the Caribbean Regional Fisheries Mechanism, Milton Horton, says while the region consumes a significant amount of fish annually, most of the commodities are imported. Horton told the 32nd CTA Brussels briefing that the region has a high per capita fish consumption, with Antigua and Barbuda consuming 77 kg and the Bahamas, Barbados, Grenada, and St. Kitts and Nevis consuming in excess of 30 kg. He said most of the fish supplies are imported due to the high input cost of fish farming, as well as a general decline of the industry since the mid-2000s. He said the sector has also been affected by impacts of the global economic crisis and climate change. The CTA Brussels briefing was told that while the global demand for fish is climbing faster than current resources can meet, fish farming or aquaculture remains a largely undeveloped industry in African, Caribbean, and Pacific regions. But the experts have noted the significant potential of the sector across the ACP regions if the right policies are in place. Antigua and Barbuda will be launching a new pilot project called Zero Hunger. The project is a joint collaboration between Antigua's government, the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture, the FAO, the Pan-American Health Organization, and the UN's Economic Commission for Latin America and the Caribbean. The project is part of a wider plan by the Food and Agriculture Organization to deal with both the reduction of hunger and the eventual eradication of hunger in the Caribbean. The pilot project is set to last from 2013 to 2014 in the framework of the Hunger-Free Latin America and the Caribbean Initiative. According to Dr. Jose Graziano da Silva, the project also seeks to deal with issues like food insecurity and malnutrition. Antigua and Barbuda recently approved a food and nutrition security policy, which the government said would align with this new project. In the Turks and Caicos, the airport terminal expansion project at the International Airport in Providenciales is expected to be completed by the end of 2014. That's according to John Smith, CEO of the Turks and Caicos Islands Airport Authority. Smith, who addressed the Turks and Caicos Islands cabinet during a meeting this week, said the project will increase the size of the current terminal and improve facilities for passengers and airline operators. In a statement, the cabinet said it heard the project was on time and within budget. The Turks and Caicos Islands Airport Authority began construction on the project last month. The Dominica government has signed 2 financial agreements with the People's Republic of China. The agreements, which were signed at the Financial Center on Friday, amounting to over 20 million EC dollars, is expected to fund community-based projects across the island and the construction of a new hospital. Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit told a press conference on Friday that the signing of the agreement follows a commitment from Chinese President Xi Jinping during a meeting in Trinidad recently. And I quote, "A number of communities need projects, and I made the application to the Chinese government for financing these community-based projects, and in my meeting with the Chinese president in Trinidad, that was approved, so we signed an agreement for 50 million renminbi, which is about 18,000 EC dollars, he said. Dr. Skerrit said the community-based projects will help address the issue of unemployment and to create jobs at the community level. He also announced that the second agreement, which is worth 4 million RMB, will go towards construction of the new hospital. And I quote, "It will deal specifically with the new hospital, and that amount will be to mobilize the final designs of the hospital. A conceptual design was presented to us, which we agreed to with certain amendments." According to Mr. Skerrit, the proposed new 3-story state-of-the-art hospital is expected to include accommodations for doctors on call. The Prime Minister noted that the assistance will add to the improvement of the health facility. You are watching Caribbean Affiliate News. Stay tuned.